Yo, what's up guys, SCM here, and today I have my second custom minifigure showcase of the year. It's been a while since I've done a custom minifigure showcase. The last one I did was in January when I showed a Spider-Man minifigure that I made, so yeah, it's been a little while, so yeah, sorry about that, but I mean, hey, I have 4 figures for you guys today, so I'd say that makes up for it. But yeah, obviously these figures are the Withered Animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and I made these so that I can use them for filming Five Nights at Freddy's Abandoned 2, which I will be filming next year. Hopefully early next year. I don't know when next year I'll have the movie out. All I know is it'll be next year. Probably early to mid 2026. Hopefully early though. Definitely not late. I really hope not, because I'm very excited to film this, but I just want to take a break in between the first movie and the second movie. But yeah, anyways, we're not here to talk about that because that movie's still like probably over a year away, so it's a bit early to start talking about that movie. But yeah, I just wanted to show these figures, so let's just start the showcase already. Okay, so I think it would make the most sense that we start with the star of the show himself, Freddy, or I guess Withered Freddy, here. And this is probably a very unpopular opinion, but Withered Freddy is my favorite of the Withered animatronics, even though he's the most probably basic in terms of withering detail out of the others. I just really like his design. I think he looks very creepy. So yeah, I had him in that pose he does when he gets into your office where he puts his arm up there, but here he is. He's very simple because I just took a regular knockoff Freddy Fazbear minifigure and changed it. I just painted over it and I kind of sanded down the cheeks. Actually, I'll get my FNAF 1 Freddy figure to compare it. Okay, so here's my FNAF 1 Freddy figure. As you can see, Withered Freddy's cheeks aren't as, I guess they're not going out as much as FNAF 1 Freddy's cheeks, because in the games they are different animatronics. So yeah, they do look different. So yeah, I also gave him buttons, which the OG Freddy doesn't have. Then you can just see all that withering around him. It's pretty basic withering. As I said, Withered Freddy doesn't have too much withering going on. He has some blue and red wires coming out of him, and yeah, there's nothing really on the back here. Here's the side. There's some stuff on the side of this leg, some withering, but there's no withering on the other side of his leg because from what I could gather, he doesn't have withering on the other side of his leg, although there's not really that many good renders of the sides and back of the Withered animatronics, so I kind of just had to go with like fan renders. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. Oh, and also, as you can see, compared to FNAF 1 Freddy, Withered Freddy doesn't have freckles. The figure did at first, but I kind of scratched those off there, and which adds more withering because those like sort of scratch marks, which is nice. And I also made his pupils white because when he gets into your office, his pupils go white, and I just think that's a really cool effect. But let's move on to the next figure. Okay, here we have probably the most fan favorite Withered animatronic, I would say, Withered Bonnie. And I'm not sure, he might be my favorite of these figures I've made, but I also really like the Withered Freddy figure, but maybe that's just my bias towards Withered Freddy as a character, because I prefer him out of all the other Withered animatronics. But yeah, here's Withered Bonnie. He's probably the most impressive one though, because I did cut off a bit of his face there, so his face looks like a toilet. But yeah, that's accurate, so not bad that he looks like a toilet. That is a meme, how his face kind of looks like a toilet. I also, of course, he's missing an arm. Then he has some wires coming out of his leg there, and a lot of wires on his face, and he's missing his eyes as well. Yeah. There's not too much to say. I mean, I think I covered the most basic details with Freddy, because they all have the same sort of type of withering, just some are worse than, some have worse withering than others. But yeah, he's missing his like foot, so you can see his endo foot. Then of course he has the buttons. I will get FNAF 1 Bonnie. There's quite a difference there. Also, I did sand at his cheeks as well, just like I did with Freddy's, so his cheeks aren't as chubby, I guess. Then his ear. This ear is kind of flopping down. I accidentally cut his ear off while I was cutting the face off, but then I stuck it back on again. But then I decided maybe I should make it go down a bit, because he actually does have that in the game. Then there's nothing on the back, nothing too much on the sides. And yeah, so that's probably it for Withered Bonnie. Yeah, I think this is a really good figure, so let's move on. Okay, so here we have Withered Chica. I think this is a really good one as well. I feel like there's a bit more to talk about with this one. So yeah, as you can see, I'll start with her face. As you can see, I sanded off her eyebrows, because Withered Chica doesn't have eyebrows in the game. And compared to FNAF 1 Chica, I made her eyes wider by getting rid of her eyelids, so she just has like huge eyes, like just staring at you, just like in the game. And yeah, I added FNAF 1 Chica only has 2 toes, but Withered Chica has 3, so I added that as well, as you can see. Then of course I gave Withered Chica her like dislocated jaw she kind of has. I did the best that I could do for that. I probably could have cut off half the face, then stuck it back on again, just higher up, but I didn't want to risk damaging the figure too much, so I just painted that. But I think it looks pretty good, and the line is overall pretty straight for that. Then she has a lot more withering than Withered Freddy and Withered Bonnie, I think. I mean, her legs are very, very withered compared to those two. Not so much at the back though, but yeah. Her arms also very, very beat up. Especially her hands. She's missing her hands. Well, it might not look like that, but she's supposed to be missing her hands, because I gave her one blue hand and one red hand. That's to represent the wires she has coming out of her arms, and these like symbiote tendrils from Venom, they're also meant to represent the wires coming out of her hands. I think that's a very smart technique. I think it does work well to represent Withered Chica's wires. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, that's all for Withered Chica. And also, I should mention, she does have a lot of stains all over her bib and stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the fourth and final figure. Okay, so here we have Withered Foxy. Now, I think this is good. I think it's maybe my least favorite one. I'm not sure. It's just, I mean, Withered Foxy has always been my least favorite Withered animatronic, just because, I mean, Foxy in FNAF 1 was already pretty withered, so there's not too many differences on him, I think, apart from him missing and like part of his ear ripped off, and then his stomach ripped open bit. But then even with FNAF 1 Foxy has like rips in his stomach, so it's not too different. Like, let me get FNAF 1 Foxy. See what I mean? They're both pretty beat up. So yeah. But yeah, let's actually talk about Withered Foxy. Compared to FNAF 1 Foxy, I got rid of the freckles he has on his snout. And yeah, he has some blue and green wires coming out of him. You can see a bit of his endo in his torso, and some of his endo through his arms, and then some more wires on the back of him. More of his stomach being ripped open on the back as well, and of course his endo ear is sticking out there. Yeah, honestly, that's it. That's all I have to say for Withered Foxy, because again, there's not too much to say about him. There's not too much I had to do for him. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and wrap up this showcase. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today's showcase. I'm really proud of how these minifigures turned out. Of course they're not. I didn't put as much effort into them that I did with other customs I've made in the past, because I mean, I just took already existing knockoff minifigures and I guess modified them. But like, I feel like that's all that was needed. I didn't need to fully cover them with new paint and stuff. I just had to modify some new withered details onto these guys, and I think I did that pretty well. So yeah, I'm really proud of how these turned out. Let me know what you guys thought of these guys in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, I do look forward to using these guys for filming FNAF Abandoned 2 next year. So yeah, bye.